It's like I have to watch my RBF all the time. For those that don't know what RBF is, you can go look it up. Hi everyone, Alycia Burton here, and I'm here today with Goldrush. Goldrush is the ripe old age, young age of 22 now. We've had an incredible journey together. And today I'm just going to be showing you some of the cues that I have for him for being completely tackless. And that's no saddle, no bridle, and no free rein on his neck. And I was a bit concerned about teaching Goldrush how to do this because he loves to get faster into jumps, yeah, and I have to half halt him quite a lot. He gets very excited, enthusiastic, and one of his favorite things to do when the jumps get bigger is to get faster. And I thought, well, with no free rein, it's one thing doing it with a rope around their neck, but with no free rein around their neck, how the heck am I going to slow them down? And then how the heck am I going to be able to turn his head in the direction that I want him to go so that I can make our turns okay? And so the very first thing that I taught him, I was actually on tour in Western Australia when I started working on this. And I thought, okay, so if I can teach him to completely turn his nose, and it has to be off a soft amount of pressure, then I might be able to teach this horse complete tackless. And so just I'm just barely touching him with my fingers on the side of his wither, and I'm getting his head in the complete opposite direction from where I want to go. Good boy. All right. And we do this through a thing called a transferal of aids. And for those of you that don't know what that is, I do have a video library on my website, www.freeridingnz.com, where you can buy my bareback training series, my free riding training series, and a few other things on there as well. And we go through exactly the step-by-step of how to transfer a cue, how to transfer an aid. And so what I mean by that is Goldrush already knows how to turn off a normal rein aid. All I've done is I've just transferred it, and now I have another cue. And so I thought, great, if I can get that amount of bend, organically he already knows how to go forward. I don't have to retrain that. But now with dinosaur birds, just with a very, very gentle tap on the outside of his wither, and it's just touching, I'm barely touching, I can control how far his head comes around. And if I want it to come around a lot, I just press a little bit firmer on that. And so, Australia, they come about a couple of times a day. Normally we have really beautiful sounding birds, and then the moment we start filming, we have those beautiful birds, but they sound like angry dinosaurs. So that's one of our ways that we can turn. And then I thought, yeah, but I want to be able to turn without my hands as well. I want to be able to get to the point where I can have my hands on my head and I can turn Goldrush in equally small circles and have full, not quite the right answer, and have full control. And so that's just using a gentle outside leg. So if I want him to turn, it's just very gently on, gently on, gently on. And then we'll go turn the other way, and we've got on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off. And it also means that now I can ride him in a straight line, I can do a little bit of a turn, I can do a little sharper turn, and I can look in the wrong direction and still get him to go exactly where I want him to go, just based off what my legs are doing. And then we also have a backup cue from my legs as well. And our backup cue is my left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. Good boy, mate. And we're going to go left, right, left. And again, we're just gentle, just gentle. Great. And as soon as I want him to stop, all communication comes off. And I'm going to tell him what a good boy he is. And we haven't done this for a while. So we pulled him out the paddock, gave him a little spruce up, and I thought, what a beautiful day to do a little bit of filming. And so now what we've got purely from my legs is that we can get a horse going forward. Great. We can get a horse turning, either big circles or really, really tight small ones. Either way, we have to be able to do that both ways without any fighting or hesitation. I also have a stop cue off my legs, and it's just a slightly longer hold. And you can bet that was a bit confusing teaching him how to do that, especially if we were cantering and I wanted a half hold. So it's a different type of leg pressure, and it's a prolonged hold. And then obviously we have our backup, which we just spoke about, left, right, left, right, left, right. And so that's quite a few commands just off my seat and just off my leg. And then for backup, if I really need, I wanted to be able to do that fully off my seat. And then for backup, if I need a little help turning, if he's a bit preoccupied or a bit excited and a bit fixated and not wanting to turn, I can also put my outside hand just gently touching on the outside of his wither as well, and he'll turn in the opposite direction. And I had someone ask me one day, they were like, Alycia, why, if you're turning to my right now, would you not use your right hand to turn right? And my answer to that is we're teaching the horse to go away from pressure. So my outside leg and outside hand I'm really over exaggerating it so you can see. My outside leg and my outside hand are on, and I want him shifting away from the pressure. And all of our horse riding training is really getting the horse to shift away from pressure. And so I wouldn't be using the inside hand and getting him to lean into that. I hope that makes sense. Good boy. And so once we've taught these commands, again, it takes quite a long time, and depending on how accurate you are in putting your aid on, and then taking the pressure off, and then how clear you make it to the horse that they just did the right thing, depends on how fast they're going to pick those cues up. And again, it's called a transferal of aids, or a transferal of cues. We also have a whistle stop. And I put that on all of my horses from break-in or re-break-in. Anytime I whistle, that was very delayed, but I have not done that in a very long time. But anytime I whistle, whether I'm walking, trotting, cantering, or flat out galloping, I want that horse to be able to come and fully stop. And before you know it, you'll be ready to pop them on up, come straight back down, turn. Good boy. And I haven't done this in a long time on him. He's been such a good boy. Good boy. And we've got our backup as well. And so all of this can be achieved with pretty much any horse. And it's consistent repetition, and it's understanding, knowing when to put the cue on, when to take it off, when to tell them they've done a good job, good boy, and how to incorporate your new cue with the one that they already know. So again, all of that information is on my website. And once you go through the process, if you keep consistent, it really is achievable for any horse. Good boy, mate. Losing my balance, he's so slippery. Note to self, don't put conditioner on a horse when you clean them if you're going to hop on bareback. I actually just used to, for fun, back when I was fit and did this a lot, I would put on the slipperiest possible pants that I could get my hands on, and I'd go and ride him so that I was like as slippery as I could possibly be to get better. I don't think I'd stay on like that anymore.